Last time I compared 9 smart bulbs, there were some good ones, some okay ones, and some duds. Thanks to all of your suggestions, I got my hands on a bunch of new bulbs, and there's some really interesting ones because they're much brighter and less expensive. So I'm going to compare them similar to last time and show you what it's like to use some of them in my house. If you want to see a breakdown of all the bulbs used in the previous video and this one, then make sure to check out the article in the link above or down in the description. I think there's some great options here, and I'll be showing you some smart lighting ideas in a future video, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. To make it easier to compare these bulbs, I'm going to separate the bulbs into 2 categories. First are bulbs that are medium to high brightness. Second are very bright bulbs, like melt your eyeballs out of their sockets bright. Also, all these bulbs work with Google Assistant, Alexa, and IFT, except for one bulb which I'll explain in a minute. The first bulb is Yeelight. Yes, that's right, Yeelight. I feel like I got a notification almost every other day of people saying, "What about Yeelight?" Well, here you go. The bulb feels high quality and has a little bit of weight to it. It seems like the heavier the bulb, the higher the quality is. It's 800 lumens and the white temperature goes from a low 1700 Kelvin up to 6500 Kelvin. At 1700 Kelvin, it doesn't feel like a white color anymore, and it just seems like straight up orange. Maybe you like the Oompa Loompa look. The colors are bright and saturated. It uses the Yeelight app and connects using Wi-Fi. What's cool about Yeelight is that it's very compatible with other smart home systems. You can change it to LAN control and connect it to something like Home Assistant. That way you can have local control and bypass the cloud servers. Yeelight also connects to SmartThings natively, which is very convenient. The version 2 bulb, which is shown here, works with HomeKit now. That's great. Yeelight delivered on HomeKit as promised, which you probably know is rare in the smart home world. The next bulb is Novastella. This bulb is 900 lumens, but there is a brighter version that I'll cover in the next section. This bulb is very lightweight, especially compared to the Yeelight. The brightness is pretty decent for its cost. The white temperature is adjustable to be warm or cool white. The colors are also good with nothing to complain about. As you can see, it's pretty close to Yeelight in brightness and colors. However, there are specific colors like green, which are a little bit brighter on the Yeelight bulb. This Novastella bulb connects using Wi-Fi and uses the Smart Life app, which if any of these bulbs use the Smart Life app, then they'll most likely use Tuya. So you can flash custom firmware for local control if you're into that kind of thing. In my last video, I briefly covered Tekken, which I liked, but at the time it wasn't able to change the white temperature. Tekken updated the previous bulb, so now it can change the white temperature. Unfortunately, it's not a firmware update to the old bulb, and you'll have to buy the new bulb. The Tekken bulb feels like good quality with a little bit of weight to it. This bulb is a good option because it's very inexpensive and is still a bright bulb at 800 lumens. When changing the white temperature, cools look good, but the warm white doesn't get that warm. Look at these 3 bulbs on the warmest white that they'll go to see what I'm talking about. So if you like a warm light, then this may be a factor. When looking at the colors, they are a little dim. It's much less expensive than the other 2 bulbs, but there is a noticeable difference in the color brightness. It also connects using Wi-Fi using the Smart Life app. I'm including 2 bulbs from Sengled in this video, and the brighter one will be in the next section. This bulb is one that I covered previously, and I wanted to quickly throw it in the comparison. I've actually really enjoyed using it with SmartThings for the last little bit. The bulb feels really high quality and is kind of heavy. Sengled is bright on its white setting, and it can change white temperature and the range is good. The colors are also decent, not as good as Yeelight and Novastella, but better than Tekken. Since the bulb is Zigbee, it's been very reliable to use. I feel like it makes up for the not super bright colors and is a great inexpensive alternative to Hue lights. The Wyze bulb is a popular bulb that came out this year. It's by the same company that makes those inexpensive yet amazing Wyze cams. This bulb can only change the white temperature and it's not multicolor. One thing that kind of shocked me was how heavy this bulb was and the quality of it. I was expecting to be cheap feeling at this price point. It's 800 lumens and the warm and cool whites look good. This bulb is $12, but why would you get this bulb when you can get a Tekken bulb that's $14? You can see the brightness of the 2 are about the same, but with Tekken, you also have multicolor. There's only one reason I can think of right now, and that's if you have Wyze Sense. These inexpensive sensors can turn on the Wyze bulb quickly. So if you have a lot of Wyze sensors or heavily invested in the Wyze brand, then this bulb is a decent option. But for me personally, if I had to choose between a Wyze bulb and an inexpensive Tekken bulb, then I would choose the Tekken, because I like having multicolor as an option. Mercury was a highly requested bulb from last time. It makes sense because they're 1050 lumens, really inexpensive, and you can pick them up at Walmart. There is a catch though, as you might expect. First, the bulb is extremely lightweight, which is an immediate red flag for me. The white temperature can't be changed, and it's set to 2700 Kelvin. Not the end of the world, but the color brightness is so dim. The bulb almost doesn't give off any light when it's not set to white. It uses Wi-Fi and can be controlled using the Genie app or the Smart Life app. The only thing is that I couldn't get it to show up in IFT, even though I had it connected to the Smart Life app. I personally wouldn't buy this bulb, but I know some people that like it, so to each their own. I covered LifeX last time, and it's still an amazing bulb, so I want to compare it with the bulbs that I'm adding today. The LifeX bulb is a beast. It's fairly large and the heaviest bulb out of the bunch. It's also very bright at 1100 lumens, large white temperature range, and bright colors. You can really see the difference here when it's compared next to the Mercury bulb. It also connects to almost every smart home platform. However, it's not the brightest bulb on the list anymore. The next two bulbs are brighter, but are they better? This Nova Stella bulb is 1300 lumens, which is crazy bright. The bulb has flat sides on it, so it doesn't roll off the table. I appreciate that. It also has some decent weight to it, and it feels high quality. For the brightness, it does deliver on those 1300 lumens because wow, this bulb gives off a lot of light. You can change the white temperature, and the colors on this bulb are actually pretty good. When compared with LifeX, it's definitely brighter on the white setting. The color brightness on the Nova Stella is great, but the LifeX colors are slightly better. Not by much, and given that Nova Stella is less expensive, I don't think it's a big deal. If you compare it with the Yeelight, since they are almost the same price, the Nova Stella is brighter on the white light, but the Yeelight is actually brighter on most colors, which I thought was pretty interesting. So if you're looking for a Wi-Fi bulb that has a bright white light, and the brightest colors out there aren't a huge factor, then this is a decent bulb. This is the last and brightest bulb on the list. It's another one that came out this year, which I was impressed when I first saw it at CES. It's 1500 lumens, which is insane because it's almost double the brightness of the other smart bulbs. The bulb has a similar good quality and weight as the other Sengled bulb. It also has a vent on top to help it not overheat. Again, for Sengled bulbs, you need to use a hub or their bridge to get them to work. But if you have something like SmartThings already, then this is a plus. It's not multicolor, and you can't change the white temperature. You can either buy one that's 2700 Kelvin or 5000 Kelvin. I normally have my lights set to about 5000 Kelvin anyways, so I prefer the cooler temperature bulb. You can see that it makes a big difference on how this one bulb lights up my house. There is a noticeable difference in the brightness compared to the LifeX bulb, and when compared with an 800 lumen bulb, it's very drastic. I normally have a Hue bulb in this lamp and Hue bulbs in my family room. I like Hue, but the lack of brightness can get to me sometimes. Might be time to switch them out in this dining room area that doesn't get enough light. So which bulb should you buy? If you have SmartThings, then Sengled, LifeX, or Yeelight will all be good options to easily add them into your automations. If you use HomeKit, then LifeX or Yeelight will work well. I can see why so many people recommended Yeelight. It's very compatible with smart home systems, it's bright, and the colors are right there with LifeX, but much less expensive than LifeX. If you want to buy a lot of smart bulbs for a low price, 4 Tekken bulbs for $40 is a pretty dang good price. Sure, it might not have the brightest colors, but for most people, it'll be fine. Hopefully this helped you see the differences between these bulbs. I'll be doing more smart light videos very soon, so let me know how you use smart lights around your house. I would love to include some of your ideas in those videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.